Hello, you guys. I am Heather Coster. I am a spiritual channel, teacher, and guide. And today I'm here to share with you 3 tips and tools that we all have access to that can help us to find calm in the chaos. And calm in the chaos might be calm in your mind, in your body. It might be chaos in your house, might be chaos over the seasons, chaos in the world, whatever that chaos looks and feels like for you. These tools work across the board, and it's really about finding the calm within so that we can be the best version of ourselves and be the best expression out into the world to create more abundance for ourselves and for everyone around us. And so, the first tool I'd like to bring in that we all have access to is our breath. And it might be something we take for granted. I know I do all the time. And I think the biggest thing to remember about finding our breath is to find our breath before we forget to breathe, before we get too wound up, too excited where we're actually holding our breath, or we're too angry, too tense, too anxious, whatever it might be, but to find it early to where we can take those deep, full breaths. And when we want to take the deep, full breaths, we want to breathe in through our nose. And when you inhale through your nose, you can think about your breath however brings the most attention to you. I like to feel like the temperature to see if I notice. Is the breath cool going in? And then see how far I can extend the breath into my belly. See how far I can help my belly to expand. And sometimes it's really hard. Sometimes when I'm all wound tightly and anxious or upset about something, it's hard to take that deep, full breath. But try your best to take 3 deep, full breaths in through your nose and recognizing the temperature of the air as it comes in through your nose, maybe imagining it going down as it fills your belly like a balloon, and fill it and fill it and fill it, and take one last big sip of air. Try to squeeze as much air into your belly as you can. And then if you can, exhale through your mouth. If you're able to exhale audibly, like to make a sigh, that's going to be a huge release, and it tells your nervous system to calm down. If you can do that 3 times, that is ideal. Sometimes you might be in a place, a public place, people are around you. It's okay, just you can still exhale through your mouth, but in through your nose, exhale through your mouth, 3 complete cycles, and see if you notice your mind calming. For me, if I notice my mind is kind of constricting, I notice if it's wound really tightly like a ball for whatever reason, whether it be anxious thoughts or tasks to complete or somehow just getting lost in my mind, somehow those breaths tend to unweave and unravel those thoughts to allow more space to come in, allow me to think more clearly, more purely. Yeah, that feels a lot better, doesn't it? So, the next tip I'd like to share with you is to remember to ask God for help and to recognize that God is always in your heart. It's nothing you have to open up, it's not Akashic Records you need to call in, it's nothing you need to ask angels and guides to come in. We're never alone because the Spirit of God is always in our heart, and we always have access to that. And so maybe if you're a visual person, it might be imagining the crown of your head opening up, calling God energy to come in and clear your mind. It could be as simple as, God, help me in this. God, I am stressed. God, I don't want to feel like this. God, help me through this anxious moment. And you might notice a shift immediately. Sometimes the shift comes, but your mind, your ego is still trying to talk you out of like, that was too easy. That didn't really happen. And so what I'm asking and inviting you to do is when you ask God to help you, to trust that it can instantly help you, to know that just by asking that it will be done, that God can help in an instant. God crosses all timelines through, like there is no space for God to travel through. It is instant. And so almost the minute you think it, the very instant you think it, it's already happened. And so when I mean that's already happened, what I mean is your thinking mind opened up to allow God to come in. And in that exact moment you asked it to happen, it happened. And so just trust that when you ask God to come in and clear your mind, to take your thoughts into your heart, that where your heart is where your spirit lies and your truth lies, your authenticity lies, the you-ness of you lies in your heart. That as soon as you ask God to help to get you there to the authentic you, beyond time and space, beyond thoughts and patterns going on in your mind, you're already there. And so just acknowledge that you are already in your heart the second you think to ask God to enter there with you. The third thing, one of my, I can't say favorite tools, I use all of these tools every day, but another tool I really, really love is my cacao. And you've all heard me talk about this before. I love to hold cacao in ceremony. I love to set intentions in cacao. You can set intentions over absolutely anything. But I love cacao because it's a tool, a physical tool we can use. We have lots of physical tools. Everything carries energy, right? God gives us these tools to help assist us to shift our energy in ways that maybe we're struggle getting there on our own. And so cacao, just by drinking it without setting intentions, without doing anything special, raw cacao, I should say, not all cacao is created equally. But the raw cacao is high frequency. If it's unprocessed, unfiltered, just the frequency of cacao itself holds the frequency of love and abundance. So just by holding it in your hands, you're absorbing that frequency into your hands. Just by drinking it, you're ingesting the frequency of love and abundance. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to call it in. If you want to set intentions over it, you can, but you don't have to. So just know it's a really lovely, lovely tool. If you can get your hands on some raw cacao, I can put the link to my favorite one below. It's the one I've been using for years and years, and it, without a doubt, shifts my frequency every time. And by shifting my frequency, I mean gets me out of my head and into my heart. It keeps me from overthinking things and listening to my intuition. Keeps my ego from getting in the way and actually finding my trueness, what is meant to be spoken from my heart. And so I'm actually have some today. I usually work with it in anything I do, and I even use it as a nightcap to help me to sleep, as it has tons of magnesium in it. So lots of ways. I'll be doing lots of posts on cacao, and I already have in the past. If you want to find me on Instagram, I know there's tons of posts there as well. So anyway, those are the three things. Remember to find your breath, most importantly, before you actually can't breathe. Secondly, invite God into your heart. Recognizing God's already in your heart can help with anything and to help you instantly. And the tools we have, physical tools we have all around us. The one today speaking of is cacao. So I invite you to use all three of those things to help you to find calm in the chaos and to bring in the you-ness of you, because we all need your gifts. We all need you as you were created. You are beautiful. You are loved. Find your calm, you guys. Bye-bye.